So you want to break away from just strumming and make your ukulele actually sing for you so that people recognize what you're playing. If you're looking at doing chord melody, this is a nice simple song to get started on. And what I'm going to do here is just show you how you can arrange your own chord melodies for yourself. And if this is something you're interested in, let me know and I'll show you some ways to learn this with me where we go into far more detail. This is going to be pretty quick, rough and ready one. So, Can't Help Falling in Love by Elvis, or 21 Pilots, depending on what version you like, has got some really beautiful chords that are nice and easy. C, E minor, A minor, F, C and G. So that would be the first line of the verse. Wise men say only fools rush in. Now, if we wanted to sing that, we would be singing those melody lines. Da, 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 da. I'm not a vocalist. Give me a break. But you get the idea, right? So when you're popping that onto your ukulele, you need to find those melody notes. We've got our C, wise, and then we're going to zip up here to the 10th fret where the dot is. Men, go back to the C. Say. Then we're going to play Only Fools Rush In from the 5th fret. Only fools rush in. Now, when we're putting those chords to it that we first looked at, wise men say only fools rush in. If I was just playing those chords down here, I'm not hitting all of those melody notes, which I need to be on my first string. So what we need to do is find the harmonies or the chords that are going to go with those notes, which are the chords of the song, but we need to find the voicing of them so it has that actual pitch in there, so our ear links to it and goes, oh, I know what that's supposed to be. So let me show you just with this first line. So the first chord was C for wise. We can hear that C note there on the first string, wise. The next one though, we had an E minor for men, and it's too low. Men, wise men say, not quite what they sing. They go wise men say. So we need to find an E minor chord that has this note in it on the 10th fret. Now, with a bit of experience, you'll just know what that is. But what we could do is look at some sort of minor chord that we know down here on the first 3 frets, which would be able to be moved up the neck. That has a note on the first string. Now, all of this I cover in my courses, okay? So I'm rushing through this. So if you're not following right now, that's okay. We can cover it in far more detail. But if we look at a G minor chord, I've got my first finger on the first string here. Wicked. That's what we need when we come up here to the 10th fret. So I want to hold a G minor shape, and this is going to become E minor when it lands here on this 10th fret. All we need to do to work that out is know our alphabet. If I started on G minor down here, and then I went up, I'd have G sharp, then I'd turn into A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, and we've landed on the 10th fret. I can have this string open, the G string, because it would be open if I was playing it down here. So that's cool. Sometimes you can't play that 4th string because you've moved it up, okay? It might not belong in the chord, but in this case it does, so we can hit that. So here's our E minor. So if we're playing wise men say, wise, come up the neck, hold an E minor, and then we need to get back down to say. That was an A minor chord. So we hold an A minor chord and put our little finger down on this C note. Now we can hear that say here on the first string. So let's try that together. We've got C, E minor up the neck on the 10th fret, and then back to the A minor, little finger down. Cool. Then we've got Only Fools. I'm going to play that 5th and 7th note separately. Only Then I'm going to go into an F chord, which is my C shape, moved up, C, D, E, F on the 5th fret. Right, fulls. Rush, I'm going to play a C chord, but it's on the 7th fret here. And then it needs to be a G, but have a listen to this. It's too low. We need this 5th fret note for rush in. So I hold a G, little finger down on the 5th. Now that's a pretty ugly way to hold a G chord with the little finger down. So I just rearrange my fingers, put the 2nd finger on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and this is G5. That's a beautiful chord to remember for chord melody work, because often when we're playing a G, we need a D note in there, and it's not this low one, it's the high one up here. So we use this shape quite a bit. So let's have a look at that chord progression. And all of a sudden that's sounding more like Can't Help Falling in Love than it would if we were just going. And they're the same chords, okay, but we're using the voicings and things up the neck. Now with chord melody work, we can always add to it. So we can put in some finger picking as we're sort of playing. I don't know, how would we do that? So you could do little twiddly bits and things in there, so you can get a little bit fancy. If this is something that you enjoy doing, or you'd like to learn more so that you can actually make your own arrangements rather than just find tab and try to be sort of reading through other people's, let me know. There's lots of ways you can learn with me. I've got workshops, which I do in Perth, in person on a Saturday. That's at this level where we would be doing this sort of thing. There's Ukulele Club, where I teach a live Zoom lesson every Saturday morning. That's Perth time at 10:45 a.m. And you've also got a chord melody course that is coming out called Melody Unlocked, Strummer to Soloist. That's coming out really, really soon, so you can pop your name down on the expression of interest list if that's something you'd like to do, and I make sure people on that list get a special bonus as well. Thanks so much. If this is interesting to you or it's helped you in any way, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Catch ya. Bye.